To understand that entire respiratory cycle, we first need to understand what pressure means. Take an empty plastic bottle in your hand with its cap just placed over it. What happens when you squeeze the bottle? The cap comes off, right? That's because the pressure in the bottle increases when you squeeze it. And air always flows from a high-pressure area to a low-pressure one. Because the relative pressure inside the bottle was higher as compared to the air pressure outside, the air wanted to leave the bottle. And that's precisely why the cap came off. Also notice that when you squeeze the bottle, its volume decreases. That's an important point, and it's always true. The pressure and volume are inversely related. When one increases, the other decreases by the same factor. Why are we learning about pressure? It's because our lungs function in the same way. When the volume of the lungs increases, air flows in, and that's what we call inhaling. And when the volume of lung decreases, air flows out, and that's exhaling. How does this happen? How does the lung volume change? So around our lungs, we have ribs or the rib cage which protects the lungs, the heart and the blood vessels from damage. And just under the lungs and the rib cage, we have a dome-shaped sheet of muscle called the diaphragm. This dome-shaped structure is called the diaphragm or the thoracic diaphragm. The diaphragm plays a vital role in the process of breathing. When the diaphragm contracts, the lungs expand as more space is created. Now, because the lungs expand, their volume increases, and this lowers the pressure in the chest. And that's why the air from the atmosphere moves into the lungs. The diaphragm contracts, the lung expand, the pressure decreases, and inhalation occurs. Don't forget, air always moves from high pressure to low pressure. And when the diaphragm goes back to its arched or dome-shaped position, the lungs contract and the volume decreases. And as the volume decreases, the pressure increases and the air is pushed out of the lungs. High pressure to low pressure, and that's exhalation. That's how the process of inhalation and exhalation occurs. In the next session, we will look at cellular respiration. We will understand how gases are exchanged between the alveoli and the blood in the capillaries.